There you go, right there. That is the core support. If we look at it, you can see that we took it off all in one piece. It looks like it's going to be a nice usable piece, and I'm actually happy with it. Like I said, you know, you can sit there and bitch and complain and moan and groan and say, why a fucking Vega? But I'm saying, why the fuck not? Restored a Vega back to factory original, and I think that being the history of the car that it is, it actually is an icon of the automobile industry. So I'm actually proud that I'm restoring this car for this guy. You know, I really didn't want to in the beginning, and you know, I told myself, why the fuck do I want to restore a fucking Vega? But then, after thinking of all the history about the Vega and the turn of the automobile industry from the Vega, I started thinking to myself, hell yeah, I think this is an honor to restore this car. I mean, I wouldn't do it for myself. But to bring this old beast back to fucking life is actually a situation that says, you know, I'm kind of proud to do this. This is just the beginning right here. This is probably the most major part of it, is getting this core support and all this front end straightened out. It looks like we're gonna have to take the frame machine to this. I think we can pull that out, or what I'll do is I'll take this section right here and cut what I need out of it, put it back over in there, and be done with it. Now, I do want to show you this right here. Here's that piece of plate steel right here that was all crushed up on the car. We're going to definitely go ahead and remove this piece right here and replace that. This piece right here, if we can get it out of there without bending it, is going to give us the roadmap to make sure all this is straight. And if it really comes down to it, I'll go ahead and cut this bitch out somewhere in this area right here, and I'll go ahead and splice it in right there. So it's not the easiest job in the world. It's not the hardest job in the world. It's a job that says, you know what? The sooner I get this thing done, the sooner I get to see it done, because I want to see this bitch brand new. I really do. I'm dead fucking serious. I really fucking do. Now, my plan is that I am going, this is where our idler arm or whatever it is, the front end suspension part bolts to. But my plan is that I'm going to come behind this piece right here in this area, and then I will section this into the remainder of the car. And then once that's done, we'll be able to put this on, hopefully. So this is where we're fucking really getting into not just restoring the car, but rebuilding the fucking thing and doing collision repair to a car that actually needs restored. Alright, we'll go ahead and put this to the side. We don't need it anymore. We're concentrating on this frame rail right here. One more thing, I want to let everybody know the car that we're working on, this is called a unibody. That means that it doesn't have a frame. The frame section actually is part of the car itself, so yeah, that's what we're working on here. And then then if we look behind there, you can see where this piece here actually stops right there. So that's going to be a real nice piece to use to give us our roadmap we need to get this cocksucker fucking done. And we're removing this very carefully because we don't want to disrupt the structure or the form of the metal. We want to keep it as flat and original as possible while taking it apart. That is our main objective here when doing a job such as this. Alright, so we removed this piece right here. It's in good shape. I like it. It's going to work for us. We're going to set that to the side, and then we're going to go ahead and take a good gander at this piece here to see what's going on with that. Now I noticed that it's got these sleeves, and that's for this piece here, which is our front end suspension part. Remember I told you about that. So what we'll do is when we go to use this piece, we'll be able to use those as line-up holes to put back on here like that. Another thing we're going to have to do, we'll probably have to get the bumper out. When we get ready to put all this shit back together, we're going to need the bumper to line everything up, and it's looking like it might work. Once I take it apart, I notice that in here there's an inside structure on this. Can you see that right there? Alright, so that's another heavy-duty piece of steel that's inside this frame rail that you can't even see out here. This is the situation that you run into, that you're going to find hidden structure inside the whatever you're working on, and it's very important to be careful of that. So as I notice that, I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to see right here, we can see there's a spot weld right there, alright, and other spot welds will be found on this as we go around. Here's another one right here, you can't see it, and that will release what we need, because I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to end up cutting this in this area right in here. I got to find a situation where I can have a markup line, and it looks like this right here, this flat line. Do you see how it comes up like this and it goes like that? Alright, we're going to use that as a marker to go ahead and take this piece to put on the car. So if we look right here, once again, this is the car that we are working on, and you can see that's the piece that I just took off. Looks like shit. I'm going to have to strip that front suspension off of there. Here's our idler arm, or whatever you want to call this. I believe that would be a idler arm or control arm of some sort. And that's going to have to be removed off of there. Here's that line right here that I was talking about, where I might go ahead and splice that baby in there to get it all lined up. We're going to do our best that we can to make this car look as factory original as possible. Something our good buddy 940, Mr. Keep It Square, was supposed to fucking do, as I teached him and taught him how to do it. But obviously, he doesn't want to be a student. He thinks that he's Mr. fucking know-it-all, like most of the fucking world out there, and they know how to do everything, especially when you don't even have your own fucking tools. And they want to get paid $1 million a week for doing nothing. Nothing. 940 will never, ever be back over here at SWRNC. Alright, I just got done removing the lower section of that core support that we took off here. I want you to pay close attention to this area right in here. You can see that this tab here is pushed in real hard, and we got a big old fucking notch right here where that's supposed to be flat. This is what it's supposed to look like right there. So you can see the difference in the two as I set them together. That's telling us that that frame rail right there, that section, is going to have to be replaced to really make it fit properly. And then once again, if we look at this area right here, let me get this piece, and you're going to see what the difference is as we go like that. So this is why I split these two pieces in half, because when I put this all back together, I want it to look just like factory original. Even though it's a fucking Vega, alright, even though it's a Vega, and most people out there don't like Vegas, and they're laughing and clowning around with this guy, I have to do the professional job that I promised him I would do, because that's just the way life is. We got to take this car to the extreme as if it was a Ferrari, let's say. This is the guy's dream. This is what he's going to get. So by doing it this way and buying the parts car, I think we're gonna have us a nice fucking ride when the whole thing's done. We got our frame rail that we had to replace. We went ahead and bolted our sway bar and our little front cross member, whatever you want to call this thing, onto the frame section that I'm going to use. Now it's just floating in here. We haven't welded nothing. Nothing's been done yet because we got to test fit our core support on there, and we got to put the fenders on and the hood and all this other shit to really do this right. But I want to kind of concentrate on this bitch right here. Now, I was going to get my frame machine out and pull the car over to the other side so I can tie it down. But I'm thinking that I'm going to try to pull this out using my slide hammer and a mow clamp. So what is a mow clamp, my friend Pete? What are you saying when you said mow clamp? This is a mow clamp. All right, it's the name brand of Body Shop clamps. Now what this does is when you clamp it onto the metal just like that, all right, and then you tighten these down, we got this thing right here that actually is a wedge, and when you pull on it, it tightens it up. Do you see how that works? Watch here. Ready? So I'm pulling on it and it tightens those jaws up and locks it down. Very expensive little fuckers. I got a shitload of these, different sizes, kinds, shapes, and forms that I have collected over the years. I probably had this one for, hell, I don't know, probably 25 years, believe it or not. This is actually the one of the main ones I use. It's called a Mow Clamp Junior. All right, it's a replica. It's like half the size of a big boy Mow Clamp. So very good operation if you know how to use them. And what we're going to do is we're going to clamp it right here. I'm going to get that lip right there. That's the lip that actually welds. This lip that I'm clamping on should be flat like this, but since this thing got hit so hard, it's all rolled down. So we're going to take our mow clamp, if I can get that bitch tightened up on there, using my crescent wrench, which I should have already had ready. See? You see the situation you have with these lousy fucking wannabe employees that come over here. They don't have no fucking tools. They don't have nothing. They don't even have gas in their car to get here because they're whining and crying. You see all the shit that they're missing out on. All right, this is the situation that tells you these guys were full of shit when they got here, and they're still full of shit today. They fucking left. So now that I got my mow clamp in place, you see what I'm saying? What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my big slide hammer, big dog slide hammer with a hook on the end. I'm going to go ahead and grab that bitch, and then I'm going to slide hammer my way to straightness. And hopefully we won't rip this metal. That's another big situation, okay? We don't want to rip that metal like I already see that it's doing right here. So what I'll do, now that we've done that and we see that it's not really moving, I'm going to take my hammer and a dolly, and I'm going to go ahead and try to hammer and dolly this bitch in shape and use the slide hammer all at the same time. Just like that. So we found out that by using the mow clamp, that really didn't do shit. That really didn't do nothing as far as helping us out in doing what we needed it to do. But we would have never found out if we didn't try it. So we'll go ahead and remove the mow clamp and put it back where it belongs for further use down the line on something else. So now we are going to rely on a special hammer that you can see. It's called a long reach hammer. A lot of people, a lot of body shop guys call these donkey dicks. I would not imagine why, but that's what they call them. You know, you kind of get into the shop atmosphere and you say, hey, go get my donkey dick. Okay, they were referring to this right here, the long reach hammer. Now the reason I'm using this hammer in here is because when I was using my regular hammer, I didn't have enough reach and the handle was hitting on this edge right here. So we go ahead and get the quote unquote donkey dick hammer out. And then what we'll do is we'll reach back here and we're going to hammer that to stretch it back out, because I'm still thinking that this is caved in a little bit. So just like that. And to really hit this the right way and straighten it out, I'm thinking I'm going to have to take the fucking tire off the fucking car. Which I really didn't want to do that. Motherfucker, there's my phone. Fuck. Now that we got rid of that salesperson, let's go ahead and continue working on our Vega. The car that I am so proud to be working on, because it is an American icon in a sense of reality. Did I show you the old piece? Did I show you that? Of course I fucking did! If you aren't awake yet and I'm boring you, then you need to go ahead and turn this video off and go take a nap. Somewhere. If it's that fucking boring. Because all I'm trying to do is restore a fucking car. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm having a hell of a time fucking doing it. So now, to use the donkey dick quote unquote hammer, I'm gonna have to take the fucking tire off the car because it's too fucking close to this panel that we need to hammer. Alright, we'll go ahead and put the tire under there. This is going to be a wham bam quickie deal, so you know, we're not going to have to put a jack stand under it, but we went ahead and used the tire as a jack stand. And then, of course, we'll be putting this right back on the car after we pound this bitch out. Because all I'm trying to do is just get it rounded back in shape, get the thing back where it's supposed to be, going like it's supposed to be, and making it right. So we'll get the quote unquote donkey dick hammered back, and then as you can see with the tire not here, I got plenty of hidden power to straighten that bitch out the way I want it. So what I'll do is I'll take my used and abused but very valuable core support for our 1976 Vega, and we will go ahead and attempt to slide this in there and see if we can get it to fit where we need it to be. And that's going to be the hard part, because this all fits together like a puzzle, you might say, and to get all this together is kind of a bitch, so bear with me for a minute. Okay, there's that one. And this has to go up here. Okay, did this go on top of here, or? Yes, it did. Okay, so this has to go up here like this. And then once that goes up there, like that, get it plastered in there like it's supposed to go. Okay, hold on a minute. We got a situation. I need my body hammer, because this kind of bent. If you remember right, this was the side that cracked. So there. got that right there. And then that will go on there. We got a little bit of a situation right there. We go right there. Okay. And then we got to fit this side on here. So that's what we got to do. And then this goes inside that little pocket. What's going to happen here? Actually, this goes on the top of that. Motherfucker. So you can kind of get a little bit of an angle of what we're dealing with here. To get this bitch in here. There it goes. It's not the easiest chore in the fucking world. There it is. And this goes down like that. And it looks like we got a situation right there. Where's my body hammer? Okay. That right there. This. There. Like that. And that's how that goes on right there. Okay, so that looks like that might work. Not really. That's not going in all the way like it's supposed to. So we gotta figure out why this bitch. And I see what the problem is here. It's this fucking battery box that's fucked up. This side here, it's on all the way. But this side here is giving us, there it is right there. Okay. All right. Now, that's where that motherfucker goes, right there. All right. Looks like it's gonna fit pretty good. I like the way it fits. Once again, we don't have anything bolted in here. Nothing is set in stone. It's just slid into place. And yeah, that's the situation. So basically, what I'll do now is I will get all of this tech screwed together. When I say tech screwed, I'm talking about taking little tech screws and getting all this installed the way that I think it should be. We'll go ahead and bolt the fenders on, and we'll also get the hood bolted onto it and get it all lined in place before we even do any welding. I know this side's gonna be all right. This is the side that we're fucked up on. This is the side that I'm afraid of. But you know what? We're gonna make this bitch work whether it wants to or not. Believe me, it will fucking work.